If you've ever felt like you should be further along in life, but instead you're just tired, this video is for you. I remember a season where I was doing so many good things, working, showing up for family, being dependable, and yet deep down, I felt like I was somehow falling behind. By the end of this video, I want to help you see why that feeling may not mean you're failing at all, and what actually needs to change. A lot of capable, responsible women quietly believe they're behind. Behind in life, behind in career, behind financially, behind compared to people they went to school with. And I know this feeling personally. There was a time when even scrolling casually on Instagram, seeing an old classmate's reel or update, would leave me with this heavy sense of sadness. Not jealousy, just this quiet thought. I know I'm capable of more than this, so why doesn't my life reflect it yet? But here's what I learned later. Very often the problem isn't that you're behind. The problem is that you're overloaded. Overloaded with responsibilities you didn't formally choose. Overloaded with expectations from others and from yourself. Overloaded with roles you stepped into because you're capable, reliable, and caring. And when everything feels important, nothing feels clear. So instead of questioning the load, we question ourselves. We live in a world that treats struggle like a motivation issue. If you feel stuck, you're told to push harder. If you feel tired, you're told to manage your time better. If you feel unsure, you're told to just pick something and commit. But overload doesn't respond to pressure. Pressure makes it worse. When you're overloaded, your mind never really rests. There's always a mental to-do list running. What still needs to be done, what you might be forgetting, what you should have finished by now, and what will fall apart if you slow down. I remember feeling guilty for resting, even when my body clearly needed it, because resting felt like falling further behind. That's not laziness. That's not lack of discipline. That's a mind that's carrying too much at once. And over time, overload creates a very specific frustration. You're doing a lot, but none of it feels like meaningful progress. Let me share 3 signs this might be what's really happening for you. First, you're busy but directionless. Your days are full. You're responsible. People depend on you. But when you step back, it's hard to clearly explain what all this effort is building toward. You're moving, but without a clear sense of why. Second, small decisions feel unusually heavy. Things that used to be simple. What to focus on, what to say yes or no to, what actually matters this season, start to feel exhausting. Not because you're incapable, but because your mental bandwidth is already maxed out. And third, rest doesn't fully restore you. You slow down. You try to rest, but there's still a low-grade pressure in the background, like something important is unresolved. That's because rest helps tiredness, but clarity resolves overload. Here's the reframe that changed things for me. You don't need to catch up. You don't need to fix everything at once. And you don't need to handle everything simultaneously. At some point, I realized I was saying yes to too many good things and quietly drowning under the weight of all of them. And this image helped me understand it better. Life is like juggling different balls. Some are made of glass, some are plastic, some are wood. They're all important, but they're not equally fragile. If a glass ball drops, like young children or core family relationships, it may crack in ways you can't fully repair later. But if a wooden ball drops, you can often pick it up again when the timing is better. The problem isn't that you can't handle all of them, it's that you can't handle all of them at the same time. What helped me wasn't more effort, it was creating space. Space to think clearly again. Space to decide what mattered now, not forever. Space to let some things wait, without guilt. Sometimes that meant giving something 3 months, sometimes 6, sometimes longer. Letting one area stabilize, then picking up the next. That's not quitting. That's choosing deliberately. If this video made you feel a little less broken and a little more understood, then it's doing what it's meant to do. You're not behind. You're carrying too much. And clarity doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from clearing space. If you want, take a quiet moment after this video and ask yourself just one question. What am I trying to carry all at once that doesn't need my full attention right now? And if this felt like a safe place to think, you're welcome to stay. Subscribe and come back whenever you need a reminder that you don't have to rush your life to live it well.